Got your finger on the thing.
Oh, you already on?
Yeah.
Audio clip 61 and action.
All right, so I guess for the first thing we're gonna do is just the intro shot. So just for the intro shot, give me different takes of the cause we're gonna do your mama cooking bitch, and then when you watch the documentary, we're gonna cut away to some and some footage of all your other stuff.
Yeah.
So you just say this right here.
Okay.
So just give me different versions. You know my favorite one is the self-talk version. So, but when you do it directly to the camera.
Okay. Jump when you're ready.
Ready, right? It's recording right now.
Okay. Mama's cooking, bitch. Let me get both of them. Mama's cooking, bitch. Yeah, they like that two-fisted. Mama's cooking, bitch.
Yeah, watch to the side. And then just a third one just to make sure we got it really, really good.
All right. Mama's cooking, bitch.
Alright, cool. So we'll start off just who you are, your name, you know, and where you from.
I'm Kwame Brown, aka the Busty Bus, by way of Charleston.
Get started.
Okay. My name is Kwame Brown, aka the Busty Bus, by way of Charleston, South Carolina. I moved to Brunswick, Georgia, and that's where I was raised, in Brunswick, Georgia.
Okay. How long did you stay in South? So when I ask you questions, they're not gonna hear me. So you gotta act like, so you gotta say it again.
Right.
You know, motherfuckers got it professional. So how long did you stay in South Carolina? In South Carolina.
We went to Lansing, Michigan. Okay, let me do it again. Actually,
How long did you stay in South Carolina?
I lived in Charleston, Moncks Corner, South Carolina until I was 5 years old. And then we moved to Lansing, Michigan, and that's when I was in the homeless shelter.
Okay. And then go into a little bit about that, like the homeless shelter and growing up and stuff.
Well, I didn't know the details of what my father did, but my father was convicted of murder. He allegedly, not allegedly, he murdered 3 people, and he got sentenced to a life sentence when I was 5 years old. And so my mother didn't work for 15 years, so we ended up in a homeless shelter in Lansing, Michigan.
Tom, what you think about this right here? I was gonna ask him to cue in how Charlemagne exposed that, but should we do how the other guys that led to Charlemagne doing that? Should we go that first?
Yeah, I think we should go first.
So go to the controversy that first sparked you on YouTube.
Okay. Well, the controversy that first sparked me blowing up on YouTube was when a former teammate of mine, now we call him Captain Jack, real name Steven Jackson, and Becky with the good hair, Matt Barnes. They mentioned my name several times on All the Smoke podcasts. I reached out to Steven Jackson behind the scenes because he's a former teammate of mine. He kind of acted like he was going to understand what I was saying and respect what I was saying about, them lowering players' contracts and messing up their likeness. But then he took it to Instagram right after that, and it went crazy from there. They said we was joking, so gave him a little bit of mama's cooking.
And then at that point, I'm gonna put in all the different clips and everything and stuff right here. So we're gonna come back, and I probably at this point just guessing would put in Charlemagne what he said, and then so just go into the whole Charlemagne thing, and also too, what's up?
No, go ahead. Let me grab some for you, so.
Yo, I'm gonna go live. As soon as we done with this, Kwame going live on his channel. So Kwame, shout out to the It's Been Real people.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to It's Been Real. Salute to y'all. Mama's cooking, bitch. Hey, it's been real on my YouTube real quick.
Yeah. Oh, what's up? He live?
Yeah, we live right there in the corner. We live in the corner. We live at the same time.
Y'all getting it both ways.
Yeah.
But, I'm gonna leave it. Want to shout y'all out or whatever. Go to Kwame and check Kwame Brown out. Make sure y'all support both channels.
Yes.
So and then get into the questions and things that I asked them. But yeah, we here, we chilling. Me and my man Tony. our podcast coming really, really soon. Kwame gonna be on the podcast, you know what I'm saying? So we doing it. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later, alright? You get to work.
Right.
So, Charlemagne come in, make that big dark music. Boom. So, when you get ready, just so you know beforehand, before we start, because I'm gonna play what Charlemagne said, I want you to tell me how you felt. Stuff people don't know, we want to get behind the scene. Better yet, describe where you was, what you were doing at that time when you saw the clip Charlemagne said, how you felt.
Well, I was actually.
I don't know, Tommy.
No, I'm ready. I was trying to control you my phone.
Okay. Well, the first clip I saw of Charlemagne, he said that he was exonerated through DNA evidence, but then self-talk. I was actually home. Self-talk put together a couple of things that he actually said out of his mouth that, kind of debunked everything that he said. So it was disgusting. So he attacked me, and I attacked back, but I had good reason to attack him because he actually pled guilty to a lesser charge of something that I think he should never be allowed to be on airways, for.
And I guess the next will be, how did you feel about when you heard what he said about your family, and then I guess going to more into depth, like none of that stuff.
Yeah, it was weird when I heard what Charlemagne said on the Breakfast Club about my family. I've been the #1 draft pick for over 20 years, and the first time I make the Breakfast Club is when you're talking about a murder that my father committed, and you're talking about gory details that I didn't even know. My mother never told me that. There was no reason for her to tell me that, so I heard it for the first time on the Breakfast Club.
Okay. And let's talk about how major this guy, how you felt like when people like me and how everybody started talking about the Charlemagne thing when you called him lesser charge.
I think everybody started talking about it because I allege that there's a such thing called a go along, get along game. And Charlemagne actually, he's proof positive that there is a go along, get along game because we're right in the middle of a Me Too era. And they've been going back and finding evidence on people who they don't like I alleged in the beginning. They've been finding evidence from 20, 30 years ago, or lack thereof of evidence, and they've been convicting people and bringing them to trial. But for some reason, Charlemagne the God, who pled to a lesser charge, he's on the docket, but this guy is somehow above the Me Too era, the Me Too movement.
And I was just gonna get just to throw out throughout the documentary sound bites of stuff I know and play. So just start talking or whatever you want to say, how you feel. If you right after you see this and you see he sniffed J-Lo's chair.
I mean, it was so many things that Charlemagne the God has done on air that it's crazy. But if you take that behavior, I say a lot on my YouTube that I watch behavior. If you take that same behavior that Charlemagne the God is doing, where he sniffed the woman's chair, there's no through line to that behavior. You can't go into your office and if a woman get up, you can sniff her seat and still have a job. So all of those things he's able to get away with on camera, bringing plastic dildos and forcing Donnell Rollins to, be a part of what I believe is a ritual that they do right in front of us. And then when he wasn't a part of it, they cut the lights off on him. So I think it's all a part of a ritual. So the things that he's able to get away with, no one else can get away with it in no other professional setting like that. So
we don't have the interview of her brother. So in the documentary, we're gonna use it from your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So since we're gonna use the clip from your channel, talk about how you got in contact with them and how that thing all took place.
Well, they contacted me. Jessica Reid, mother, and her brother contacted me through my email, support@buslife.com. We thought initially we was gonna get Jessica Reid on, but then, you know, she wasn't emotionally ready to talk about it. So we had her mother and her brother on, and to me they did a great job, and they enlightened people about things they didn't know. A lot of people thought that I knew Charlemagne did or did all these things, but I knew what you guys knew. I thought he was exonerated just like everybody else did.
I guess look at this right here. I would go into, I know for a fact I'm gonna play, I'm gonna play the, what's it called? The Spanish Fly. Well, you know, just be more, just before we get to that, imagine what you come in and say after I play the clip with what he said about his wife.
Mm-hmm. Well, what Charlemagne said about his wife, you know, to me, that just shows that he has zero respect for women. What guy would ever say that? If that's what you actually did, and you know, you're supposed to go to the grave with that, because that's not something that you should do. So I'm not advocating that, but to get on the airways and say that's how you had your first encounter with your wife, your daughter can hear that one day, your son can hear that one day. So to me, that was disgusting, and it just shows how much he think he has so much power and that he's untouchable.
I'm trying to think something to say. I don't know what you want to say. Could he go outside for just one short moment?
Yeah,
With the live?
Yeah.
I don't see him.